Hello, dear friends. Will Tu Diep accept the belated apology? After many days in a coma, Tu Diep finally woke up. She felt sore all over, dizzy. But the first eyes she saw were James, sitting next to the bed, eyes full of worry. "I'm awake," James exclaimed, holding her hand tightly. Tu Diep blinked and nodded slightly. She tried to say something, but her voice was too weak, speechless. Suddenly another figure walked in, James's father. Tu Diep was a bit surprised. He always opposed her, and James never gave her a sympathetic look. But now his face was full of remorse. Tu Diep's voice dropped, carrying remorse. James turned to his father with a little surprise. He never took the initiative to meet Tu Diep like this. Father James took a step forward, and then suddenly bowed deeply. "Dad, I'm sorry." The whole hospital room became silent. Tu Diep opened her eyes wide, believing what she was hearing. "I was wrong. I thought you weren't worthy of James. But you sacrificed yourself to protect me." Without hesitation, Dad was too stubborn to wrong. James looked at his father with complicated eyes. Tu Diep looked down at her hand, her heart in turmoil. She never thought that one day we'll hear this apology from the Ma. Always despise her. What should she do? Accept the apology or keep your distance? James held her hand tighter and his voice was soft. "Tu Diep, you don't need to rush to decide." But he believes that Father is truly sorry. Tu Diep looked at her and then looked at his father. In her heart, the feeling of hurt and injustice was still there. But she also cannot deny that the man in front of her had changed. She took a deep breath and nodded slightly. "I do not blame you anymore." Father James breathed a sigh of relief. His eyes filled with emotion. James smiled and gently stroked her hair. "From now on, I will no longer have to suffer loneliness. Your family will be my family." Tu Diep was a little confused, but inside there is a warm feeling spreading. Maybe this is a new beginning. Surprise wedding. Will Tu Diep agree? Days after waking up, Tu Diep gradually recovered. But in her heart, there were still many complicated thoughts. She never imagined that James's father changed the guy. "Don't even think about it. That I will actually step into the family." This one morning when she just woke up, James entered the room with a mysterious smile. "Are you feeling better?" he asked gently. Tu Diep nodded. "Then I'm better." "But what's wrong? You look strange." James smiled. "It's okay. You just rest. I will take you out for some fresh air soon." Tu Diep did not ask further. But inside, "I feel something is different." The next day, James pushed the door open, entered the hospital room with a pure white dress on her arm. Ted looked at the dress and her heart suddenly beat faster. "James, what is this?" James sat down by the bed and took her hand. His eyes are Tu Diep. "Dad has decided to have a wedding for us. As soon as I feel a little better." Tu Diep was stunned. Wedding, she whispered, feeling her heart beat fast. James nodded slightly. I know you're not ready. But Dad personally prepared everything. He wants to make it up to you by officially welcoming you into the family. Me too. I want you to be my wife not because of responsibility, but because I really love you. Tu Diep looked deep into James' eyes. You are sincere, you are serious. But what about you? Are you really ready? She clenched her hands, her heart was in turmoil. Why now? We have been through so much. James smiled and placed a kiss on her forehead. Because I have been through so much. The more he understood that. I don't want to lose you, a guy. The next day, Tu Diep was taken to James' house. But the most surprising thing is, the entire villa was decorated for a wedding. She looked around. White ribbons, fresh flowers everywhere. There's also a small stage for the bride and groom. Everything is prepared so carefully, it's like a dream. James' father walked over and looked at her with gentle eyes. Tu Diep, I know I was wrong. But now I want to make it up to you. Let me officially accept you as the daughter-in-law of this family. Tu Diep bit her lips, her heart beating fast. Are you ready to enter into this marriage? Can she put the past aside to fully receive the love of the goat? The fateful wedding. Will Tu Diep agree? The whole large villa was decorated brilliantly white. Silk strips fluttering in the wind. Roses covered the candlelit walkway, magical and shimmering. Everywhere radiates an atmosphere of happiness, full of blessings. Tu Diep stands in front of the mirror. Look at yourself in a pure wedding dress. The dress hugs the slim figure, accentuate her gentle beauty. But her eyes were full of hesitation. Outside, James was waiting, his face showing excitement. James' father stepped forward and put his hand on his son's shoulder. Tu Diep voice. Today is my big day. Let the Tu Diep decide. With her heart groaned and nodded. He loves the Tu Diep more than anything, but he doesn't want to force her. In the room, Tu Diep stared at the mirror. So much has happened, from misunderstandings and opposition. Times we almost lost each other. Even the sacrifices she had gone through. Should she step out there? Enter into this marriage? Are you really ready? Outside the yard, the guests had gathered in large numbers. Tang is also present. He stood in a corner with his arms crossed, his eyes looking a bit uncomfortable. I wonder if she will agree. Tang muttered. James's friend laughed and said, what are you doubting? James did everything to protect Tu Diep. They were born for each other. Tang did not answer, his eyes still looking towards the villa door. I don't want the purple leaf to suffer. If she is not sure, she would rather not enter this wedding. In the bridal room, Tu Diep took a deep breath. Just then a warm hand gently rested on her shoulder. She turned back to meet Father Jame's loving eyes. Tu Diep, I know you still have many concerns. His voice dropped. But remember, out everyone gets true love. Like me and James. If you love it, don't be afraid. He'll squeeze my finger tightly. She loves James. The answer is obvious. Are you scared? Yes. But will she regret it if she doesn't step out there? Maybe yes. She took a deep breath, then grabbed the edge of her skirt. Her decision was made. Music rang out at the altar. James stood waiting with his heart beating strongly. He didn't know if she would come. But just then, the door opened and purple leaves appeared. She came out in a gorgeous wedding dress. But the eyes are full of determination. James held his breath. She came, she chose to be with him. That moment I knew I had the world. The wedding begins. James returns to work as the war begins. After the wedding, James didn't have time to enjoy his honeymoon. As soon as I returned to the company, he had to face a series of serious problems. The press is full of rumors about his company, related to illegal timber trade. Image of some wooden containers of unknown origin appear on the net. Make shareholders confused. In the classroom, a shareholder's voice rang out. James, you have to deal with this immediately. Otherwise, the company's stock will collapse. James frowned, his sharp eyes scanning everyone. I know this is not a normal incident. Someone is behind the scenes manipulating everything. He turned to Tung, close friend and trusted advisor. Have you found out who is behind it? Tung nodded, his voice low. It seems that Joe has not given up on bringing him down. He bribed some warehouse employees to install this wood in your company's shipment. James clenched John's hand. The guy. Tu Diep is always by James' side. When James came home late at night, Tu Diep is waiting for him in the living room. Feel tired? She gently walked over and gave him a glass of warm water. How is work? James didn't want her to worry, but he didn't hide it either. The company is in big trouble. Someone is playing tricks. Tu Diep gently placed her hand on his hand, her eyes determined. No matter what happens, I will be by your side. James looked at her and felt a warm feeling in his heart. Perhaps in this stormy life, she is his only peaceful place. James counterattacks. The next morning, James decided to take action. He contacted the economic police. Simultaneously, send an internal investigation team to check all import and export records. After many hours of work, they found important evidence. Fake invoices created by John's insider. James did not hesitate to immediately send the file to the police. That afternoon, a team of investigators raided the company's warehouse. Arrest those involved. The news spread quickly, clearing James' name. Company stocks stopped falling. Shareholders gradually regained confidence. John is caught, but the war is not over. That evening, John received a call. John, the police are investigating the brothers. He clenched the phone, his eyes flashing with anger. James, you haven't won yet. He smirked. This war is not over yet. What will be the exciting and interesting story next? Let's wait and see.